Welcome back. As you recall, in the last video, we defined why visible thinking routines are such a powerful tool for student learning. In this video, we will help you create activities that encourage student visible thinking in a simple and fun way. We have all had this experience as teachers. As students learn a new topic, they experience challenges. And students may find it difficult to understand a new concept even when they have examples. So, how can you, as an educator, really understand what students know or do not know? In the next 4 minutes, I'll use remixable templates, also found beneath this video, to model a visible thinking routine in a language arts and literature class. Keep in mind, though, that you could adapt this for any subject area. At the core of this activity are the core principles that students can visually represent their thinking quickly in Adobe Express, that they don't need to take hours to draw their ideas. They can use icons and images in a flash. Working quickly in a template or post helps students, especially students with diverse learning needs, how to show their ideas in a multimodal way. And working in Adobe Express gets them excited about their learning while doing it. All right, let me show you what this is all about. Let's get started. I'm so excited to share with you how you can pair Adobe Express with visible thinking routines to help students demonstrate their learning. Now, as I mentioned before, this is so wonderful as not every learner learns the same way, and sometimes we need to provide them with alternative opportunities to demonstrate their learning. Now, the visible thinking routine that I'm using today is borrowed from Harvard Project Zero, and it's called Headlines. This is one of many routines, and it is great for checking for understanding. Now, I would use this after my students have explored a topic, and in this case, this is the prompt I would help them to get started. If you were to write a headline for this topic right now that captured the most important aspect that should be remembered, what would that headline be? Now, you can change it up and call it clickbait if you want, as so many students know what that is. But in this case, we'll stick with a headline and we'll get started. And to do that, while I'm on the home screen, I'm gonna go to the little plus button and I'm gonna choose the square size. And since I know that in this case, I'm going to be using the 3 little pigs as the text to demonstrate this activity, I'm going to be going into media and I'm going to be thinking through the images that are going to demonstrate the headline that I want to use. So in this case, I'm going to be looking at it from the wolf's perspective, since I want to take a different perspective and think about the story from the wolf's lens. So I'm going to choose a construction site, and you'll see why in just a moment when I tell you what my headline is. So once I've selected the image, I'm going to set it as the background, and I can make some adjustments to the image. I could change with different effects. But in this case, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to go back in and add some more imagery. I want the pigs in there. So what's really wonderful with Adobe Express is how easy it is to take a visual representation in your mind and create a visual collage of your learning. And I love this. This is my favorite feature. This is the remove background feature. So I can very quickly take what I'm thinking about and really bring it to life and make it look actually quite professional. So here's my first little pig, but I want 3. So I'm just gonna go up to the left-hand side here, and I'm gonna duplicate the image of the pig and have my 3 little pigs. Now, when I'm ready, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add my headline. So I could either start from scratch and just kind of figure out what that font would look like, or I can choose from a variety of pre-created text sets. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to go in and just show you how easy it is to add the text. So
I'm gonna just go over here, delete this out. And my headline is going to be pigs without permits. All right, so that's the first part of the headline. There's two parts. And so once I have my text, I can start to edit it. So I can add a shape. That's great. So I've added my shape here. I can either choose from the different fonts, and there's so many of them here, or I might choose one of the recommended ones that AI recommends. So I can go in here and see what they look like ahead of time and play with the fonts that way. So I'm gonna just skip to one that I've already created just for the sake of time so you can see what it could look like. So I've added my text, I've played with some of the shadows, I've added the images, and now I'm ready to publish. So there's two ways I might consider publishing this to share it out. One is either I can download it, and the other one is I can share it. I can also add a collaborator and co-edit with my partner or someone in my class. So it's really quick and easy to get my creations out and shared with each other. All right, stay tuned, come back, because we have the next part where we're going to take this image and bring it into our video reflection. All right, I'll see you soon. And I'm gonna take this activity even one step further. So check out my next video as we go even deeper in making our thinking visible with Adobe Express.
So that's it. By teaching students to create visual representations of a course text, you have quickly empowered them to creatively and visibly show you their thinking. Now, take a moment to reflect. What can you take from this lightning learning into your own classroom practice right away? If you need inspiration, we have more examples of visible thinking routines below this video and on the Adobe Education Exchange. In our next video, you will learn how to help students verbally express their learning using our Video and Stories feature in Adobe Express.